Okay guys, I just wanted to spend a few minutes and talk a little bit about the Mako and the Mako project and what the Mako is all about, why and how it came to be, and what I hope to be its future. These are two examples of the Mako here. This one's an M390. This guy's an LC200. This one's an M390 as well. This is my daily carrier. This is actually a customer's. This one is available. And this is my personal Rex, CPM Rex 121 version of it. So, many of you guys are probably familiar with the Spyderco Mule project, and they have a shape that they use, and they put different steels in that shape. I really like the idea. I don't like that it doesn't come with handles, and I'm not nuts about that shape. I really don't like that shape very much. I know some people like it. It is not for me. So, along with Michael Christie, he wanted a small EDC that would be sub, I believe it was 3 inches, and he had some parameters, and we worked together back and forth, and the evolution design came to be this, the Mako. Now, many of my knives have this handle with this swell here. It's on the top, there's no swell. There's an arch, which I like, that curve, and then there's a swell here. I believe it to be a pretty comfortable knife. So what I want to do with this is continue to push the limits of steels. I'm trying to keep it, it's a custom knife. I make each one of these. But like, for instance, I've been working on, this is G10, a yellow G10, loud yellow G10. This was cut on a small CNC mill in my basement, actually. And you can see the sort of where the tabs were. I had tabs on it, so it doesn't move. This was not easy to do, but now that it's done and I kind of have the speeds and feeds, I'm ready to, do that for my scales. Still got a lot of work to do to make this scale a usable scale, but that's how I'm going to try to do my scales. Believe it or not, this scale was also cut out that way. And in the case of this one, the CNC actually did the counterbore. But then it's all finished by hand. So there's plenty of work after the CNC. People think CNCs just spit out finished knives for some reason. And this one was done completely by hand. This is nice and light. This is a light wood, spalted beech. I have some more of that. So moving ahead in the future, I'm going to make a change to the design of the knife a little bit. Nothing really with the blade or anything like that, but what I'm going to do is I want to move to the, so you'll see this is glued up, and then I chamfer lanyard tube, 2 lanyard tubes for the pins, and that's fine, and that's actually it's a very nice arrangement. So this guy here has removable scales, and so these are counterbored. The way this is done, this is similar to how Essie handles it. In the middle, there is a, what you would call, they're actually what's called a standoff or a ferrule. It's threaded. And then on one side goes the one screw, on the other side goes the other screw. And that's basically how these work. And these are counterbored, so there's a ledge in there, and so they're removable. So if you wanted to clean the knife or something like that, they're removable. But the change in the design is that, so this is a lanyard tube and it's glued in. This is a traditional way to put a knife together, a custom knife. And you have a lanyard hold both in the front and the back, and that's cool because guys like lanyards. I'm not a big fan of the lanyard, but I know a lot of guys are. This is great because it's removable scales, and if I do different ones, You know, potentially I may offer them in, you know, maybe a blade only without a handle if you already have handles, or maybe you have one and you like this color handle with that knife. Now these are handmade, so they won't fit. Like this is pretty perfect. There's not, you know, it fits pretty perfect, but each one is hand done, so they're going to be a little different from one to one. So you would maybe potentially have to sand and make them flat if you switched knives, because they're water jet cut, so they're basically the same, but there's a little different from knife to knife. So in the future, that what I want to do is make all of these removable, and I want to put a fastener here, and then just leave this hole open for a lanyard, so that you can have removable scales and a lanyard, because the current arrangement, either lanyard and glued up, or removable scales and no lanyard. So moving forward, this design will change, and then I won't change this from here. At least I don't plan to. So that's the future for the Mako. I think I may do a run of crew wear coming up, and whatever steels strike my fancy and I can get my hands on, I'm going to try to do in the Mako. So the Mako is going to be basically a vessel for different steels. But, you know, particularly with this sheath, and I want to work on a Kydex version of an in-pocket sheath. But with this sheath and a clip, you know, this is a handy everyday carry kind of knife. And so that's the other thing with these. The scale material will typically be right around 1/4 inch, so that you can use one sheath with multiple knives. So for those of you steel nerds out there, like I'm kind of a steel nerd, I think. Maybe I have a problem. But I think you'll really appreciate as this project develops and as new steels come along, and hopefully I can get them out and before, you know, before they even hit some of the manufacturers or whatever. So hey, thanks for watching the channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'm going to try to load as much content as I can. I don't always get to it as quickly as I'd like, but yeah, this is a little bit on the Mako project and what I'm hoping to do in the future. Thanks for watching.